Hello, good evening and welcome back to the channel here this evening. My name is Andy and tonight it is Monday evening and we are back for NXTGEN Racing's Mini Cooper Cup Series with conjunction with Chloe Hewitt Racing. Of course as well, it's the Chloe Hewitt Mini Cooper Cup Series. This is the season finale. It's a one-off special endurance race. Qualifying is already underway just now. The drivers are out on track already. Let's run you through the standings real quickly for this double points finale here this evening round the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. In the Pro Class, as we see FYS go flying off at the top of the hill at Druids. That's not what you want to be doing, but you might as well get the mistakes out of the way early doors. This man, Game Ranger, is in the lead of the Pro standings. He is on 301 points. Cutler, where is he? There he is. He's in second place on 266 points. So he is about... what's that? I've not done the maths beforehand because I'm absolutely stupid. Oh goodness me, try to do maths top of my head really quick. 35 points of a difference. 42 available for the win. There should be 2 available for pole in the fastest lap, so he's needing to win here to have a chance of stealing the Pro standings. Ripcross is in there as well, but he's on 234, and Psychodynamic is in 4th on 189, but I don't think he is here at the moment. Only the 7 drivers around at the moment, unfortunately, as well. In the Pro-Am class, this man, Fredo, is pretty much already your Pro-Am champion on 296 points. Reason for that is his nearest challenger, Skywars, is not here this evening. He was on 253. The next one after that is Mad Marshall, who is on 223. So Fredo is already the Pro-Am champion, so congratulations to him, running obviously in the leopard style livery of his sister Chloe's actual Mini Cooper Cup. The interesting one I was looking forward to, which is unfortunately not going to come to fruition, it looks like, was this one here in the in the AM class, sorry. Surreptitiously leading the way on 262 points. Happy HPK, the South African, just not far behind on 248, but as you can see, the South African isn't here as the surreptitiously runs wide coming out of Clark Curve. So if Leslie's coming along to the lobby very shortly, it is pretty much a slam dunk there. So the interest will lie in what Cutler can do, and if Game Ranger was to fall behind in this race. So it'll be interesting to see. Fraser restarting GT. The Wi-Fi isn't playing ball. I noticed you were popping that in the chat, really frustrating, so hopefully you can get that really up and running quickly. We can get at least an hour driver, maybe 2, into the lobby. As you can see, Game Ranger is pushing Cuddles all the way down towards Hawthorne's Bend at the back end of the circuit, down Pink Pilgrim's Drop. We're going to find who is coming around to start a lap. There's someone there. It is Ripcross, the Dutchman. He is just coming round the final sector just now. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on board with the Dutchman in his Mini Cooper. Alan Kay jumping in the chat saying evening. Good evening to you, my Irish friend. Good to have you along as always. We're going to take a lap round the GP circuit here on board with Ripcross. He's currently in pole position at the moment on a 1 minute 40.7, and he's going to take us across the Bravum straight across the start and finish line to start a lap heading into the infamous and famous Paddock Hill Bend. The back end stepping out there, but he controls it well, uses the runoff on the exit up the hill towards Druids. That's up Halewood's hill as well. A lot of these corners named after famous British racers. Out of Druids you come down Graham Hill and down into Graham Hill Bend. Tricky little corner here. You can see Ripcross using the curb and all of the AstroTurf on exit. The game does allow for that in terms of its track limits, so he can push that. And then coming up along the Cooper Straight and into Surtees, named after John Surtees, of course, one-time F1 champion in the 60s. And then you come down onto the GP part now, because that's where earlier this season you would have seen that you went onto the club circuit, and it takes you through clearaways, through Pilgrim's Drop, heading up towards Hawthorne's corner. Very quick corner indeed. You can see he's just feathering the throttle through there in 5th gear, around about 100 miles an hour, catching the curb in the grass on exit, along the short straight into Westfield's corner. Happy HPK is in the lobby, so the Ram class is getting very, very interesting. Good stuff. Coming out of Westwood there, down through Dingledale, that used to be a very fast chicane, and then into Surtees curve, very tricky curve in there as well, easy to run wide, and then another one as well, it's tricky, Stirling's, which I believe is named after Stirling Moss, quite possibly. Very quick corner, it's quicker than it looks actually. Past Clearaways, which is just there on the right, into Clark Curve, which is the final corner, chucking it in and running out wide to the edge of the circuit, and it curves its way round across the start and finish curve rather than start and finish straight, and across the line, and it's a 1 minute 40.6, so we were actually on board there for what is currently the quickest lap in qualifying, so good to be on board with that. Now the run-ins for the settings here tonight are no tyre wear, even though it's an endurance race, but the fuel wear is on, and it is on to about ×8, I do believe it is. I'll be able to find out shortly. I will check it, someone might tell me in the chat. Jordan saying he was wishing he was racing tonight. I wish you were racing as well, Jordan. It would be great to have you along, get as many people in for this season finale. And Alan Kay saying, not looking forward to this track in the Formula C cars. That is obviously in a league that I am running in conjunction with TTG, which is obviously the esports team that I am commentator for, and that is going to be the season finale, that one, so you've got plenty of time yet, Alan, to get some practice in. It is obviously the last race, we're only 2 rounds in, 3rd round coming up this Saturday. If you want to know more about that, head over to TTTV, hit the subscribe button on their channel as well, and you can catch me on Friday nights as well as Saturday nights also. So there you go, if you are looking forward to that, do drop in and have a wee look. There is Cutler, he's currently in 3rd place at the moment, which means he would not be getting the bonus point at the moment for pole position in the pro class, and he needs all the points he can possibly get. There is Happy HPK finally into the lobby, staying out of the way as Cutler goes into Hawthorns, and I'm glad the South African has made it, because that's the closest battle. 262 points for Surreptitiously, 248 for Happy HPK, so there's only 14 points in it, with 42 up for grabs for the win. So that is where a lot of the action is going to be tonight, is keeping an eye on the AM class. Can Happy HPK get ahead of the Glaswegian Surreptitiously? Can he make it done? Alan Kay giving me a shout for giving the plugs, obviously, towards TTG. You know what I'm like, Alan. This is my channel. I'm allowed to do whatever the heck I want when I'm on here. So it's all good fun and games. Ripcross still in lead at the moment. Cuddles has put himself up into 2nd place in Chloe Hewitt Zebra car. So the Zebra is definitely flying round this evening. Cutler coming across the line. He's currently in 3rd at the moment. Stays in 3rd. Doesn't improve on his time there. Game Ranger in 4th, coming up towards Druids. Fredo's in 5th. There's a yellow flag out there at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend, and it is because of this. Bigsy has parked up at the side of the road. He's had enough already of the session. We'll see if we can get a better angle. Nope, the big massive grass mound in the way. Surreptitious crosses the line. He's currently in 7th overall, leading the AM standings for pole position. FYS coming through. He's obviously a filler as he comes through Surtees there and heading towards Pilgrim's Drop. He's in 8th, and Happy HVK in 9th at the moment, but he's only set the 1 lap time just now, so there's still plenty of time for him to get himself up the leaderboard. He could do with the extra points for getting the AM pole position to help in his battle with Surreptitiously. So we're not far off the end of qualifying. It's usually only around about 10 to 10 minutes or so it shouldn't be too long. You see Cuddles getting out of the way, FYS there. He's now got Game Ranger behind as they come through Dingledale and up towards Sheen Curve. Fredo in behind there as well. And it's obviously the finale here this evening, final race of the evening, and thankfully we're being able to see all the cars on track and not floating in the air, although some of them are doing some rallycross. Because you might remember when we had the Team v Team with the Dutch racing events, one of the cars was floating in the air and we had a great view over the top of Brands Hatch, which was a camera angle we're probably never going to see again, but there you go. So this is the man in pole position, and it's, for me, it's a season of what could have been for Ripcross. Started off quite strongly, took one of the victories, I think it was at Tiscaba, I believe early doors, can't quite remember the track, it was one of the early ones. He did do quite well, but he seems to have dropped off during the season. His Game Ranger especially has just gone really forward. It's a shame Psychodynamic couldn't have done the full season because he was extremely quick as well. And you might remember it, I think it was Tiscaba or Kyoto, he took back-to-back victories and he ended up with 4 in a row nearly at one point as well with the Tokyo track. So it's a shame he couldn't do a full season because that could have been really interesting. But Game Ranger has put himself right into the top end of things, very, very much so. So could have been, what could have been in Pro, we could have been looking at a really fascinating tussle, a lot closer than it is. But I'm sure Cutler, who's currently in 5th at the moment, will be doing everything he possibly can do to try and make up the time and make up the points gap to Game Ranger. But it is going to be a bit of a tall order for him to do so here, so it will be interesting to see what he can do. We know Game Ranger is extremely quick, and if Ripcross is up the top end there, he's also going to be taking points away as he goes even quicker on a 1:40.2. So really, really quick time there from the Dutchman. Super soft tyres for all, so there are going to be no issues. They can push the absolute living daylights out of these cars, and they will not need to worry about the tyre wear in any way. This Game Ranger heads for the line. Has he got an improvement? He does. Whoa, that's a big difference there. He was 3 tenths behind Ripcross and he's now gone 3 tenths clear. So he's found 6 seconds in that last lap. A 1:39.944. Pulls over at the side of the road. He's happy, and at the end of that, as FYS stays out of the way of Fredo there. That was an incredible lap time. 50-minute qualifying. Thank you, Jordan. I can never remember if it's 10 or 15 minutes. I'm absolutely terrible for that, but there you go. Always happens. So Ripcross has still got a little bit of time. He's got a few minutes yet to try and gain back that provisional pole position. You can see that he's 9 times clear off FYS and 3 times off a Game Ranger. So the front two are looking pretty quick round here at the moment. FYS looking for a chance to gain up the order himself. Cuddles pulled to the side of the road there and parked up. That is at, I believe that is at 30s, just off at the side of the road there. Yes, it is. So he's just off the side, coming to where the GP circuit meets with the club circuit. You can see Ripcross going through in the background through clearways. Hate your internet provider. I think we've all been there at some point, Jordan. I actually had it on Wednesday evening on AOR's GT3 League when I was racing, and I was winning by 23 seconds with 12 laps to go, comfortably in the lead, not pushing it, and my internet crapped out on me as Ripcross goes straight into the wall. And that would have been my first victory, official victory in GT3s, and unfortunately I ended up with a did not finish. So yeah, I can understand that one, how annoying it is when the internet doesn't want to play ball. It's very, very frustrating. I was quite annoyed at that, but what can you do? It's all in the past now. Cutler across the line. That's an improvement on his lap time, but he still stays in 5th position for the meantime. FYS still there. Cuddles is off the side. Ripcross off. Game Ranger's off the side of the track. Cutler is still going on. Fredo back out. Bigsy's at the side of the track. HPK is taking pole position at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on surreptitiously, see if he can do anything at the end. And the reason they pull to the side of the road is they can't just stop in pit lane without being unentered, and then it drops them out of the session, so they need to pull to the side of the road. You'll be back next season, you won't be a filler. Well, that's good to hear, Jordan, that will be the case. I need to be up front though. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this next season because of work. I need to see what's going on first, because there's just too many Mondays where I'm doing back shifts, so it's a possibility I might not be here, I'm afraid to say. But we are going to worry about that in due course, and we're going to concentrate on the finale here tonight. You can see Game Ranger on pole position with that phenomenal lap time. Fraser not too happy that he'd done a 39.6 in practice, would have put him right up there. But happy HPK taking the pole position, so that gains him 2 points, and he's now only 12 behind on surreptitiously, because I'm sure that'll be 2 points It's usually 1 point for pole, but I'm sure he's gained 2 there. The lights are on for this 1 hour endurance race. You can see the time just above the track map in the bottom right hand corner, and we are underway, and it's a good start from Game Ranger. Happy HBK has got an absolute nightmare and already dropped to the back of the field. Ripcross has managed to get through. Cuddles is looking at FYS. Game Ranger going to look to the inside as well as he goes through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Cutler, a little bit of a nudge there on Cuddles. I'm sure that he will not be too happy. He'll certainly not be giving him a cuddle for that one as they come up through Druids for the first time. Fredo trying to get through as well there on the inside. Already the Pro-Am champion. He's racing for honours here as he bumps alongside with Cuddles going down into Graham Hill Bend. But Cuddles gets the better of that one in the meantime. Fredo drops into 6th place. Big C in 7th, surreptitiously in 8th, and Happy HBK we are all to do already. That poor start in 9th position as he come through Surtees for the first time, and you can see FYS is fighting, but Fredo is all over the back of Cuddles as well as they head toward Pilgrim Drop. Surreptitiously is now drafting to the outside of Bigsy. Now Hawthorns isn't really a corner for overtaking. You see Cutler though is looking to the inside. FYS thinks about it. Fredo stays where he is. Bigsy's managed to hold off surreptitiously for the meantime, and the Glaswegian's going to try to the inside coming up towards Westfield, but Bigsy just turns in, takes the racing line, managed to hold on to 7th position just now. Game Ranger already got himself a 2nd cleary. Everyone else is Ripcross is having to fight with FYS here going through Sheen Curve. You can see Cutler off the grass as well. FYS has got through, and Cutler trying to get through, and Cuddles gets a bump from Fredo which pushes him up into 4th position as Happy HBK goes rally crossing in the background there. We come through to the end of the first lap and we're trying to go 3 wide into Clark Curve, and trust me, that one is not going to work. Cutler's going to come off worse for wear as Cuddles nearly follows him, and that drops Cutler down to the back of the field there. A bit of bumping going on. It is touring cars, you do expect a little bit of board bumping. It's not going to be good for Cutler because he needs all the points he can get, and Game Ranger is just driving away at the moment. Fredo meanwhile following Bigsy. They're in the sand trap in the beach, and that's allowed Cuddles and surreptitiously to make an easy move through. That's going to allow Happy HBK and Cutler a chance to close up. Cutler straight up the inside of the South African there. I just caught that in the background. I could see the late braking move coming, and he's got through cleanly there into Druids, and he's already now back up into 8th place. But look at that, 1.3 seconds already from Game Ranger. He's starting to pull away very, very quickly. FYS up into 2nd with Ripcross in 3rd, Bigsy 4th, Cuddles in 5th, surreptitiously in 6th. Now that's enough for him at the moment to take the AM standings overall win, and Game Ranger obviously doing what he needs to do to take the Pro Standings Championship as well at this meantime, so that's good for him. Your Pro-Am champion already confirmed with Star Wars not here. Fredo in at 7th place, trying to hold off Cutler who's trying to follow through. We're going to jump on the roof camera with the 8th place car. He's coming through Westfield now. You can see surreptitiously up ahead, using the curb in there to close, keep on the track as surreptitiously catches the grass. Fredo gets through into Sheen Curve there, and Cutler's going to take the rally cross route his way through. Surreptitiously gets pushed a little bit wide there. Fredo drifting his way through Surtees. Not Surtees, sorry, that is Stirlings, I do apologise, and that is an easy move for Cutler as well to get through, even though he caught the grass as well, and in that lap he has gained himself 3 places, and it shows how much speed he does have in that Aries Motorsport car. You know, we're hoping to get himself back up to the front as quickly as possible, but of course the fuel levels going down, they're already at half tanks, a lot of these guys. So it'll be interesting to see how long they can make these tanks last. A lot of them expecting at least a 3-strop strategy during this race, possibly even more than that. That's Happy HBK and surreptitiously having a fight. Surreptitiously needs to keep that place ahead of Happy HBK, and he holds on to it for now. It's going to take for Happy HBK, he needs the fastest lap and the win, I do believe, to be able to do anything in the standings. So I'll keep up to date with that as much as I can do as we go along. Ripcross starting to close up to the back of FYS very quickly now. That's going to bring a lot more action towards the front of the field, and it'll be interesting to see as they come through Hawthorns Bend now. I'm just going to quickly check the point standings. 18th for second. This is when you've got to do work on the fly, which is never good. There we go, that's a bit more like it. So 14 points. I'm just trying to work out the AM standings quickly. I didn't get the chance before the race. 14 points coming into it. 2 points for pole position, which obviously HBK got, so that means he's 12 behind. If he was to win, he would be up to 40, that would give him 42 points. But coming in second would be 36 for surreptitiously. So, unless, if I've done the maths right, 36 to 42, that's not going to be enough. HBK needs surreptitiously to retire, I do believe, but I'll check my maths at the end of it. It's not going to make a difference because we're going to see some brilliant racing regardless. Cuddles, you can see big damage on the front of that car already. Bigsy coming through Paddock Hill Bend, having to hit the brakes halfway through the corner there to get the car stopped and slowed down. Nearly ended up in the beach. Fredo not having that problem. Cutler done the exact same thing. He did end up in the beach, and happy HBK off and halfway towards Graham Hill Bend on the opposite side. And that's going to drop him down to 9th place, and that puts surreptitiously back up into 8th and back into the lead of the Pro-Am standing. Some mistake there from the South African, not what he wants to be doing, and that's dropped him 5, nearly 6 seconds down now on the back of surreptitiously. Cutler's not moved up since moving by those guys. He's still in 7th, so he's not doing very much at the moment. Fredo making his way down through Pilgrim's drops. It's surprising just how deep that drop is sometimes. If you've ever tried taking in Project Cars 2 a Lotus 98T through there on 100% boost, when you go over the rise of the crest, the car just goes as light as anything. You're fighting that thing like nothing else. Cuddle's having a good race. He currently obviously leads the Pro-Am race standings, and he's trying to catch himself up. He's not going to be, he's going to finish 5th in the Pro-Am standings no matter what due to his points that he has, but he'll be wanting the honours of taking the final victory here tonight, so we'll keep an eye on his progress. Bigsy is trying to catch up to him, and he'll be trying to do everything he can to take that away from him. Ripcross hasn't really made too much progress onto the back of FYS. Well, his game range, oh, FYS is off. He's off into the gravel there. Big mistake from the 2nd place car. That's going to drop him down to 4th. Moves over to the side there to allow the cars to take the racing line through. It puts Cuddles up to 3rd overall. And Bigsy is going to try and make his way through. We'll see if we can pick up what happened here. He's coming up towards the line. I'll jump on board with him just now. Hopefully I've got it at the right point. I'm not too sure if I have, but we're soon going to find out. Puts it into the corner, just runs wide. No, it wasn't on this lap, so replay not giving me the right point there. It's always the fun part we're trying to do then, but there you go, I'll get it right one day. He's managed to hold on to 4th. He's going to try and do Cuddles a favour and hold up Bigsy now. But that mistake has cost him 2nd place, put the Dutchman Ripcross up into 2nd, but he is 2.7 seconds behind Game Ranger. He now has nearly 7 seconds over this man Cuddles in the Zebra car with FYS 4th. Bigsy 5th. Fredo having a bit of a lonely race at the moment as he drifts his way around about 16,000 different corners that don't even exist on the track. He just loves to hooligan that car everywhere that he goes by the looks of it. Cutler has managed to break clear off the 2 AM drivers surreptitiously in HBK, so he's got 5 seconds to Fredo, 10 seconds up to Cutler, 10 seconds to surreptitiously, who's got 4 seconds over Happy HBK. So the South African does look quick around here. As you can see, the fuel load is coming down, and a lot of them now are at quarter tanks or under, so we're going to start seeing some pit stops before very long. That'll be the first of what we expect to be 3 pit stops here this evening. Cuddles coming through Paddock Hill Bend. In fact, speaking of pit stops, there's Cutler in. Change tyres, fuel going in, it's going to be the first pit stop of the evening. Super Soft back on. Whether it has actually changed tyres or not, it's a different matter because there's no tyre wear on for this race. It's just the fuel allowing the drivers to absolutely drive the wheels off it should they wish to. But hopefully they keep all 4 wheels on and don't end up with 3 wheels in their wagon and look like Del Boy at the end of the race. You can see Game Ranger coming down Pilgrim's Drop up towards Hawthorns Bend. The fuel light is flashing, so he'll be heading for pit lane, you would imagine, on the end of this lap. 10 minutes off the race done, still got 50 minutes to go. 6 laps in, so at this rate, 6 laps for 50 minutes, you're talking around about 36 to 40 laps roughly, something in that region. Depends how long the pit stop takes, but It's going to be a long old race. They don't have the break up of having the short race and then the longer race with a break in the middle and the reverse grid like we normally do. So that's going to make it a different challenge for the drivers, and having done a few races at an hour plus myself, it's not easy. You get a bit weary at the end and a bit weary. There goes Game Ranger into pit lane. That'll put Ripcross up into first position. Now, we've seen earlier this season he is pretty good with making the fuel last an extra lap or two than you'd expect to, so keep an eye on that. Cuddles and FYS have flew into pit lane as well. Biggsy's flying in, Fredo's coming into. I'd expect to see Happy HBK, who's got ahead of Cutler and surreptitiously, so something's going on there. We'll see if we can pick that one up from a moment ago. There we go, Cutler was in 7th. This is the start of the last lap, so we're not going to pick it up too great. And he went into pit lane, obviously. Let's just see if we can pick it back up at all from when he came out of pit lane. Nope, that's gone back even further. So that's not going to do the trick. So something's going on then between Cutler surreptitiously and Happy HBK. Cutler is now back ahead because the South African is into pit lane. But something went on because Cutler was a good 10 seconds clear of those two at one point. Came out of pit lane and things going on. But there you go. Probably it's just because of pit lane actually. I'm having a Monday moment. There you go. Here comes Ripcross through Westfield Bend, down the drop of Dingle Dell. That used to be a phenomenally quick chicane back in the day, and through the reprofiled Sheen curve, named of course after Barry Sheen, famous motorcycle rider, into Stirlings. And he's heading up towards Clearways where the club track meets the GP track, and going through Clark Curve. And quite coincidentally, of course, Clark Curve named after the famous two-time world champion Jim Clark. It would have been his birthday today had he not been unfortunately killed in that F2 race at Hockenheim back in 1968. That's a very different way to enter the pit lane there from Ripcross, but he's made it, trying to go as quickly as possible through there. That will put Game Ranger back into the lead of the race. FYS will move back up into second place possibly. It depends when the Dutchman leaves pit lane, so that'll be an interesting one. Let's jump on board just now with FYS and we'll see if we can spot a Dutchman coming out of pit lane. You can see Game Ranger's just gone by. I think Ripcross has actually got out ahead. He has. That's surprising, that. I was expecting Game Ranger to regain the lead, but that extra lap has allowed Ripcross to move into the lead of the race. So I did say it's pretty good on the fuel mileage. That extra lap's done the trick for him, and Game Ranger now is going to have to fight if he wants to take the win to go along with the possibility of being crowned champion in Pro Class tonight. So it's game on for sure. FYS is going to try and catch up to him as well. Cuddles has came back out of his pit stop in 4th, Fredo in 5th. Cutler's moved up to 6th ahead of Bigsy now. I've just made that way through. Bigsy drops to 7th, surreptitiously in 8th one, and a very wide line through Druids Bend at the top of the hill. And Happy HPK is just making his way through Paddock Hill Bend. He's dropped behind, and it's frustrating for him, I'm sure, because he does look like he's got a quick car, just maybe pushing it a bit too hard. He knows he has to beat surreptitiously to have any chance of winning the AM class. But Ripcross leads with Game Ranger in 2nd, and Game Ranger closing them down very quickly as they come into Stirlings. Down to 3rd gear, 70 miles an hour, catch the curb on the exit. The GS battery machine heading towards Clearways and Clark Curve. Lovely overhead camera shots. One thing I can say for GTSport, some of the camera angles are phenomenal, and the look of some of the tracks are absolutely brilliant. I wish the F1 game had keyboard controls because it would be so much easier to control the camera. But yeah, I can always wish. Codemasters, are you listening? Please do it. Coming through Paddock Hill Bend then, Game Ranger trying to chase down Ripcross for the lead of this race. 15 minutes down, 45 to go as you go through Druids Bend. At the top of the hill, down the plunge towards Graham Hill Bend. You can see not really using the brakes either, just downshifting, using the engine braking with these cars. It's obviously all about momentum and how you carry it through. A little touch of the brakes there, not too much into Surtees, and now back up the hill to head towards Pilgrim's Drop and towards Hawthorne's Bend. Not too much in it between these two. Game Ranger does have the fastest lap at the moment as they throw it into Hawthorns. You can see it just comes off the throttle altogether, no braking at all, and then just feathers the throttle through the apex of the corner. Then up through Westfield. Nice and easy. You can use the curbing around this track, but sometimes if you do catch it the wrong way, it will throw you off the track. This is one such corner. Excuse me. Hiccups. That's not good. Ooh. Commentator's nightmares to have the hiccups. There you go. Oh, goodness me. Game Ranger does look like he's quicker. He's gained that second up pretty quickly, so it's now a case of, can he make the overtaking move? Can he make the pass on the Dutchman? Coming across the Bravham straight start and finish line. Complete lap number 9 to go into lap number 10 through Paddock Kilben, one of the trickiest corners I would say in British motorsport. You can go through that 100 times and you probably get it right about 6. It's a really, really tricky corner. Braking, turning, camber, downhill. So easy to get it wrong, but you can make a lot of time up there if you get it right. And it's one of these really enjoyable circuits. I actually caught something while doing a bit of my research. Gerhard Berger, obviously famous Austrian F1 driver with, I think it was 11 Grand Prix victories he took in his career. He labelled Brands Hatch as probably one of the best driving circuits he's ever been at. Now, when you consider when he raced here, I would have been in those turbocharged beasts back in '86, so he knows what I would say he knows what he's talking about, and it is a really good track to drive, especially when you get the car working how you want it to do. Surreptitiously and Bigsy have came back in for their second stop, so they must have short filled on their fuel there, because that's pretty early coming back in already. And Rick Cross has managed to just pull a bit of a gap on Game Ranger for now. FYS is not making any closing in at the moment. Cuddles still holding on to 4th in the Pro-Am lead as Fredo tries to catch up to him. And Cutler down in 6th position and running wide through Westfield. And this is not what he needs. Happy HBK back up into the lead of the AM class standings just now. He's going to have to make a pit stop. Not anytime soon, but in the near future he will obviously need to surreptitiously back out. Bigsy still in pit lane getting the fuel into that Mini. It's a long, long stop for Bigsy. Hopefully he's not suffered that pit stop glitch. That is absolutely not good at all. And Rick Cross has pulled quite a bit. Game Ranger's actually dropped back. What has happened to Game Ranger? Let's see if we can pick up what happened to him as he comes through Paddock Hill Bend. He just runs wide and onto the gravel. It slows you down really much. Drops it down to second gear to get going very nicely. Pulls to the side though to make sure FYS could get through without any problem. And that's dropped him down to second. That means he's now 9 seconds off the lead, so that's definitely not what he was planning to do there, going through Paddock Hill Bend that time round. And my microphone's still working, which is always a good start. Fantastic. Cuddles though now has Fredo up behind him. There was a bit of a gap between they two as well, so a mistake possibly from Cuddles has allowed Fredo the chance to gain back up as they come down Pilgrim's Drop towards Hawthorns. He's had to pull back. He's going to have to follow him through for now. I wonder if we just quickly jump to replay if we can catch what happened. Not going to pick it up from there. He just closed in pretty quickly, so that's not going to tell us what we need to know. Through Sheen Curve, Fredo really wringing the neck out of it. Looks to the inside into Stirling's. That was a late move there. He was never going to get that one done. Cuddle's able to hold on. Fredo picks up a time penalty for his troubles through that one there. It was very late. It's not. You need to be alongside if you're going to pass through there. Not really an overtaking opportunity into Stirling's, but he's got a much better run out of Clearways here and out of Clark Curve. But Cuddles is able to hold him off for now into Paddock Kilbend. Looks to the inside but has to back out, drifting, catching the marbles. That's just going to push him to the outside of the track. And you can see he's lost time there because it took half a second out his penalty. He's just taking a little bit more out and all of it now with his braking, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Moving on now. Game Ranger now has got to chase down FYS instead of the Dutchman up front. Cutler having a lonely race down in 6th place. You can see the back of that car a little bit battered and bruised from early doors. Happy HBK showboating through Clark Curve in the lead at the moment. Bigsy, that must be struggling, and that must be the pit stop glitch, and that is an absolute nightmare for that to be easy. He's stuck in pit lane now for an awful long time, so I get the feeling that that is the end of what we're going to see from Bigsy tonight. The pit stop glitch has killed one of our drivers. RIP Bigsy's chances of winning here tonight, and that puts him out of the race unless he can somehow get it fixed, but he's going to be a good number of laps off the pace now, obviously. Here's FYS coming through Clark Curve to complete his 12th lap. Fastest lap for him at the moment is a 1 minute 40.123. And he's done that on lap number 4, but you can see he's done a 1 minute 40.3 there, so pretty decent lap time from him. Cutler's came into pit lane. That is the second stop for the number 30 on the roof. You've seen it there. And the fuel goes in to the tank. That's going to... He should come back out still in 6th position. It's going to be a lonely race for the Aries Motorsport man. Half an hour still to go, over half an hour still to go, sorry. And really needs to be, as I say, up towards the front to be doing anything. But it's just not working for him tonight. He's back out on track now. And Game Ranger looking up the inside into Hawthorne's Bend. That is not normally an overtaking move, but he's made that as clean as a whistle. Nicely done there from Game Ranger, and he's got the move done. Let's go back and jump on board one more time and see that from on board with Game Ranger. He's got much a better run. Look at the difference in speed. FYS must have been struggling for speed down the straight into Hawthorne's. He's through and away you go. That is a nice move there from Game Ranger to put him back up into 2nd place in the AM standings. But FYS is a quick driver. He's not going to take that one lying down, so keep an eye out. He is going to see what he can do, and he's drafting his way along the back of the GS Batteries machine. Can he make a move into Paddock Hill Bend? Does he fancy his chances going into here? He's basically pushing that car through Paddock Hill Bend nearly, but he backs out for now, using the curb in, using the grass. Let's have a look and see if he fancies anything into Druids at the top of the hill. Has to back out for now. The other Aries Motorsport car fighting it out with the Pro Championship leader. Down into Graham Hill Bend, wanting to get that place back. Game Ranger now just really pushing it. As you say, you can use all of the curb and AstroTurf and grass along there and get away with it. It is part of the track limits, believe it or not. Game Ranger running a bit wide into Surtees there. That might allow FYS the chance to do to him what Game Ranger did to him last lap by coming down towards Pilgrim's Drop and Hawthorne's Bend. Does he fancy trying to do the same on Game Ranger? No, he doesn't. Thinks better off it. Down to 4th gear through the curve, and he's going to carry on for now. We're going to try and jump to, there we go, that's the one I wanted. I wanted the bumper cam. Get as close to the ground as we possibly can do. Into Sheen Bend, you can see the car twitching under braking there for FYS, and he's not going to be wanting to do that very much, so that's not what he wants. Cuddles has pulled a bit of a gap over Fredo. Fredo obviously dropped back somewhere. He's now trying to regain that time after that attempt into Stirling's a few laps ago. And Cutler coming down Pilgrim's Drop towards Hawthorne's Bend, just driving around trying to do what he can and hope that something goes wrong up ahead. Happy HPK in 7th and leading the AM class, but as long as surreptitiously finishes, I believe that will be enough for the Glaswegian to take the AM standings. And if that is the case, it will be a double victory for surreptitiously, because he also took the AM standings in the Friday night Clio Cup event as well, if I do bear my facts correctly. I'm sure someone watching in the chat will be able to let me know if I am wrong. But if that's the case, then it will be back-to-back double for the Glaswegian David. of AM championships, both in Mini Cooper Cups and in the Clio Cup as well. So if my sums are right, that's all he needs to do. But Happy HPK will try his absolute best to try and make sure it doesn't happen, but he did really need one of the other drivers joining in tonight and trying to get past David surreptitiously, and looks like that's not going to be the case. Your Pro-Am champion is already confirmed for definite, and Fredo Scar Wars unable to make this evening due to, I think he's on holiday, and if that is the case, have a good one, my friend. But it did mean that Fredo comes into this race unopposed already as a champion, so he'll be pretty happy with that, and pretty good result as well, because if I remember correctly, he didn't race in the first round. He only joined in round 2, I do believe, so that's been very, very good, showing some good pace. Bit of a wild style from Chloe's brother. He does like to throw the car into the corners, get it a bit sideways as well, taking as much speed as he can, so he gave us plenty of talk about, plenty of action to see. But he is the champion in Pro-Am. Cuddles comes into the pits, FYS is into the pits, and Big C is still there in pit lane due to that pit lane bug, so hopefully no one else ends up with it, because that would be the absolute worst thing to happen. FYS is underway, so he's able to get a move on, no issues for him. Cuddles is just waiting for his fuel to be topped off, and he's underway as well, so no pit lane glitch for those two. Ripcross 6 seconds clear of Game Ranger, who's now obviously got free track, with FYS having pitted. He comes out in third. There's Fredo in fourth now because of Cuddles pitting, so Fredo fancies his chances in the back of FYS, but using the grass and then some carry on any further there, and you'll be halfway towards Donington Park before long there, FYS, and that allows Fredo the easy chance up the inside into Surtees, and he's made his way into third place overall, so pretty good there. But FYS is going to try now and draft his way down the back straight towards Pilgrims Drop and Hawthorns. In the slipstream you can see the leopard print car up ahead, clear as day. You got mirror full of a Reeves Motorsport grey and orange. Fredo holds on, but he's ran wide onto the grass coming up to Westfield. Can he get back on track and slow down? He can indeed. Hits the brakes here going through. FYS has got a much better run though out of the corner. He's going to try and go the long way round through Dingledale and up towards Sheen Corner. Now cuts to the inside, uses the inside grass a little bit into Stirling's. He fancies chances here. No, he does not. He backs out of it for now. Game Ranger's into pit lane for his second pit stop, so he's back into pit lane, and FYS a much better run out of Stirling's into Clark Curve. They're going to go side by side, and FYS has gone wide and into the gravel, and that's cost him a lot of time, and Fredo easily now takes the place, although he would have done, but he's into pit lane, so FYS takes third place back. Could have been second if he had not made that mistake, because Game Ranger has just came out of pit lane there. So Game Ranger now having made his second stop. Look at look at Ripcross though, still got just under quarter of a tank, so coming in for his second stop, he's definitely, I think, going to try and do 3 stops. I get the feeling most drivers might need 4, but Ripcross with his fuel mileage looks like he could make 3 stops work. It'll be touch and go, but you can see if you watch the rev counter when he comes down the gears coming out of Stirling's here, watch how much the rev counter goes up. He's changing up very early indeed, so in the 4th gear, watch the revs come up. Maybe get a better idea of it coming into the turn. You can see the revs rising, and he holds it in 4th because he knows he's going to be braking for Clark Curve. But if we just keep an eye on the Dutchman for now, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He gets halfway up the rev range and then changes gear, and that's obviously a good way of saving fuel. Even in your normal road car that can help. You're not using the revs, you're not then using as much fuel, and that's obviously helped him through the season as well to do some really good fuel mileage. And I think if anyone's capable of doing 3 stops here and running towards the front, it will be him who could do it. So it'll be interesting to see. Half an hour gone, half an hour still to go, And it's Ripcross that leads from Game Ranger in second, FYS in third, Cuddles having a fight here with Cutler over fourth and fifth. Fredo's been in obviously and came out back in sixth place. Happy HPK in seventh, surreptitiously in eighth. Bigsy stuck in pit lane with a pit lane glitch, at least in terms of on my screen. He could be racing around for all I know. For all I know, he might be racing around Silverstone by now, who knows. Cutler's going to fancy his chances in the back of the Zebra car ahead. And can he make the move? This is Pro-Am in fourth, Pro Class in fifth. Cutler pushing a little bit too hard out of Paddock Hill. You can see he's really late and aggressive on the brakes, aggressively into the apex at Druids, but not able to do anything at the moment. He has to bide his time a little bit. Heading towards along the Cooper Straight, also named after the Cooper cars that raced in the late 50s and early 60s. What many see as being the revolutionary car that made the single-seaters go to the engine in the back, rather than being in the front as they had been up to that point. Ripcross is into pit lanes for his second stop from the lead of the race, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes back out onto the track after that stop. We're going to follow the action here between Cutler and Cuddles, as this is the closest on the track. Coming up through Sheen Curve, clipping the curve, getting back on the power, heading towards Stirling's. It looked like he thought about it. Looks like he prefers an earlier, sharper turn in there, because Cutler in comparison to Cuddles, and he's got a good run heading up towards Clark Curve. But the best thing here to do will be to get a better run out of here and try and make a move into Paddock Hill Bend. But Cuddles has made a good run out of Clark Curve himself, so they come flying across the start and finish line. That's him completed their 18th lap on to lap 19 now, and Cutler still not able to make the move through Paddock Hill Bend. Using the carb on the exit, getting close to the beach on the inside. FYS is up ahead, Cutler goes to the inside. That's a late lunge. He's contacted with Cuddles there. Looks like he's probably going to back out. He's half throttling it to allow Cuddles back through. He knows he made a mistake there and allows Cuddles to take the position there. So he realised, oh, lovely camera shot that's he come right over the top of us. Cutler late on the brakes. He's done it before. We know he can do it. Just made a little bit of a miscalculation there. Cuddles was still there into the corner at the apex. Contact was made, but fair play to Cutler, and that's what NXTGEN Racing is about. Fair racing. Realised he made a mistake and just came off the throttle to allow Cuddles to take the place back. And obviously, if you are interested in joining NXTGEN Racing leagues for next season, season 13 is coming to a close. So season 14 will be starting up in the near future. I'll drop the links below to the Facebook page. Obviously introduce yourself, get joined up to the group, and you could be involved in some of the leagues. Of course, GTSport, like so this, the Focus Cup on Tuesday nights. There's Group 3 GT Free Racing on Wednesdays in GTSport. It's the Clio Cup on Friday, and there's also the Virtual European GT4 Championship as well on Sunday night. So that's your GTSport action, and I believe we are trying to expand on that as well. Project Cars 2 is on as well, so Monday nights is the Monday Night Tourers, 3 different series, touring cars, the old Group A Tourers, like the Mercedes, the BMW and the Sierra, also the Clio, and another Clio Cup event as well. That's done on Monday nights. Very popular series with the Project 2 guys, Project Cars 2 guys. On Wednesday is the GT Freeze, and then on Friday is the Genettas GT4 and GT5. So those GT5s are lovely to drive. And then on Saturday is the Max Coates Clio Cup on Project Cars 2. So real driver sponsorship to some of the leagues here on NXTGEN. Moving away from those, we've got the Assetto Corsa, which will be coming back for the Classic DTM series, which is run by everyone's favourite party animal, Mr. Stuart Packham, aka Lager Fanny. If you've watched the V8 Supercar series, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. So that's coming back as well. I do believe they're looking for another Assetto Corsa league as well. And there's the F1 2018 league, which is run on Thursday nights by Envoy Extreme, coming up towards the end of its first season as well. So plenty going on across NXTGEN if you've got a PlayStation 4. Even if you're on a controller, you can still join. I use controller predominantly, that's where I started, and you can still make it work, you can still do very quickly. So I'll drop the links below afterwards. Just check back after the video is uploaded properly. You can see though on the track, Cuddles has got a good run on FYS out of Stirling's, but unable to do anything through Clark Curve, and Cutler looked like he was going to make the move there, but he's dived for pit lane, so he's into pit lane for his third pit stop. Cuddles is going to try and get past on FYS going into Paddock Hill Bend, but he's unable to do so on this occasion, has to back out, and you can see there's a lap car surreptitiously up ahead, and he's gone wide using that extra runoff area, cuts back in as well, so he's kept his position for now. You can see the blue flags waving, the marshal points. He's trying to stay out of the way at Graham Hill Bend, but it's not the easiest place, but he has managed it, so fair play to him there, because that's not an easy place to do so, and that has allowed him to get out of the way and allowed these two to battle on for third position overall. Ripcross leads by 6.8 seconds from Game Ranger. Then it's FYS and Cuddles, the battle that we are watching. Fredo's about 15 seconds off of him. Cutler, having just made his pit stop, is making his way back up towards them. Happy HBK just finishing his 20th lap, surreptitiously he's on his at the moment. Everyone else on at lap 21 or further, but back up here with FYS and Cuddles, and it looks like FYS has got a bit of a better run through sector 2. It's allowed him to pull a little bit of a gap on the Flying Zebra. And the joys of an endurance race means that I can't even take a moment in between races to have a drink, so I need to do it while I'm talking. So there you go. 23 minutes to go. Close to the end period of this race. We're obviously now into the third pit stop phase as well. I'm going to take a moment just to run through, see if we can find the fastest laps for each driver. So Ripcross a 1 minute 40.3, Game Ranger you can see at the bottom there 1 minute 40.0. He's currently just set his best sector 1 time as well. FYS, and not too sure unfortunately because it was done a number of laps ago. Cuddles a 41.0, Fredo a 41.2, Cutler a 1 minute 40.533, he's done it that well, he's done it twice on lap 15 and 17, so there you go, to the exact thousandths of a second. Happy HPK's just set his in the last lap, a 43.7, and surreptitiously we have 44.4. Big C had done a 41.1, but pit lane glitch means he's not on the track, which is very frustrating indeed. This man here, Game Ranger, has been pretty quick all season long in that GS battery machine. At the moment he is on his way, well at the moment he's doing a bit of gardening for Brands Hatch, but that's a different matter. But away from that, he is on his way to being crowned the season 13 champion for the pro class. Lovely low camera shot, that one again as well. And a number of victories through the season for Game Ranger. He's running wide again though, so he's going to have to be careful with that. He wants to improve in that fastest lap, I think. But he's been very consistent through the year, usually up towards the front end of the field, and it's no surprise to see that he is going to take the championship unless something major happens before the end of this race. FYS was just mainly a filler through the season, but he's had some really good results up towards the front end, been quick at times as well. So maybe we'll see him back for next season for another go. Cuddles in fourth in the pro. Oh, FYS, big moment, he's sideways, he nearly caught it. He's into the wall, and that is a mistake coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. Let's go back and see that on the replay. I'm going to go behind on the trace camera. Catches the grass and the gravel, caught it again, and then it was all gone. Tries the front wheel drive. Once it goes, it goes. It's a pretty battered up Mini that he's got now, but he is still underway at least, and in fourth position now. Puts Cuddles up into third position, so not only leading the Pro-Am class in terms of the race, but he's also on the podium overall as well. So Good driving there in Chloe Hewitt's Zebra car. Trying to give it a good send-off for the end of the season. Chloe's brother, as I say, already Pro-Am champion, running a similar livery, just in the leopard print instead. Cutler is closing on him though, he is catching up. It'll be interesting to see what he can do and see if he can close the gap on Fredo and make a move. And in fact, Fredo's gone wide, so forget about that. It was an easy move. Fredo making a mistake coming through Westfield. Let's go back and see what happened to Fredo here. Just coming into Westfield. Yep. Goes sideways onto the gravel, back onto track. Cutler makes an easy move, and that drops Fredo down to 6th place. So just as it looked like it was brewing up for quite an interesting battle between the two of them, it drops away pretty quickly there as Fredo drops it onto the grass and onto the gravel and drops down to 6th position. And the FIS has dropped off the back of Cuddles 5 seconds after that mistake. Game Ranger 7 seconds behind Ripcross, and if you look at Ripcross, compare the fuel stats there. Just over a quarter tank, 30 tank total, over half a tank for Ripcross. He's got a really good fuel mileage going here, and quick as well. If you look at those lap times since he came out of pit lane last, 41.1, 41.2, 40.8, 42.2 last time, but you can see happy HPKs in the background, so it might have been due to lapping the South African. So fuel mileage and very good lap times. Hiccups again, excuse me. Oh, commentator's nightmare. Either that or losing your voice, but there you go. Game Ranger's been pretty consistent as well. You can see after his pit stop, 41.1, 40.5, 41.2, 42.3, 42.4, 41.1. So consistent, but a little bit up and down as well at the same time. He's not able to just set those consistent lap times where he'd want to. We did see him pushing a bit too hard, but still, if you can lap within a second or two in these things when you're trying your absolute damnedest, then you're doing very well indeed. Happy HVK gets the blue flags. Cuddles and FYS have both thrown into pit lane at the same time. You can see the South African put the indicator on there to indicate on you go. You can go past me. Those two are in pit lane. Cutler coming round. He's going to then take over 3rd place possibly. So we go look at the number 30 car. And he comes across the line. Cuddles has actually come out in front of him. You see FYS behind, but Cuddles is up the road, I think. Where is the Zebra car? There you go, it's well up the road actually. So Cutler up to 4th place now, but that is Cuddles now with fuel, which he'll be hoping will take him to the end of this race, depending on obviously what kind of fuel road he's running. In the meantime though, FYS has came right back out and has got Fredo right behind him, fancying his chances of taking 5th place back. Having lost it a lap or two ago to Cutler due to a mistake, FYS is down a man he needs to try and take that position from. And FYS not doing himself any favours there, running wide, coming out of Surtees corner. That's going to give Fredo a brilliant run towards Pilgrim's Drop. Down the rise, but he's not going to be close enough for Hawthorns. He's going to need to back on. They've got a blue flag, so that's a car up ahead, about to be lapped. Fredo looking to the inside into Westfield. It's not normally an overtaking opportunity. This will be a brave move and a very clean move. It'll need to be good racing by both of them there going through Westfield. Very tricky corner that. FIS holds on for now. Fredo has to replan his attack. As I say, there's a lap car coming up ahead. I do believe it is Happy HPK. And Fredo looks to the inside into Stirling's. It's actually surreptitiously up ahead. I do apologise. You can see Cutler not far ahead, but looked like Fredo fancied his chances into Stirling's there, but again, not really an overtaking opportunity as he drifts his way into Clark Curve. FYS holds on to the position for now in 5th place, having came out of pit lane. Fredo will be in pit lane before long. If you look at his fuel stats there, he is on to a quarter tank. FYS maybe going to let him go by into Paddock Hill Bend up the inside. No, catches the curb. FYS taking the wider entry line, because you can take multiple ways into Paddock Hill Bend obviously, and he's able to hold on to 5th position for the meantime. Game Ranger has closed the gap to Ripcross. It's down to 5 seconds now, As we come back to FYS and Fredo, you can see surreptitiously ahead there in 8th, about to be lapped by these guys. The leader currently on lap 26. Happy HPK is on his 25th lap, as is surreptitiously. So 7th and 8th, the only cars to be lapped at the moment. As you come down the hill, beautiful camera angle again. Such a beautiful game this, I will give it that. And Fredo's got a great run. He's going to try into Westfield one more time, and he's now fully alongside and through. FYS going to try the cutback though. Coming down Dingledale, they're bumping door handle to door handle almost. Heading up to Sheen Curve. This is going to be brave from both of them up the inside, side by side. Keeping it between the white lines as well. Lap car ahead, still side by side, door handle to door handle, wing mirror to wing mirror. FYS runs wide onto the grass there. Fredo gets the move done. But that was some good racing there, but Fredo's about ahead for pit lane because that fuel light is blinking. And it's surreptitiously going off, and you can see Fredo, he's staying on for now as FYS catches a huge tank slapper coming out of Clark Curve. Very well held. Fredo will be in the pits next time by. Here goes FYS, fancies his chances going the long way round Paddock Hill. He's going to try and cut back up the inside now for the uphill rise towards Druids. Fredo goes to the inside to defend, and he's able to hold on for now. FYS will try his luck maybe, get a better run out of Druids, down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. Onto the brakes, not able to do so at the moment as they come flying over the top of us. Heading up along the Cooper Straight towards Surtees. And Fredo holding on for now, but he will be in pit lane this lap because we do know he's on to fumes almost in that car. But FYS is not going to be too fussed about that. He's got a great run coming towards Pilgrim's Drop. He's currently now ahead, and Fredo pulls in behind, so it's a much better run out of Surtees, and FYS regains the place before Hawthorne's Bend. But Fredo, even though if he's coming into the pits, we know he's going to take his chances. He's going to take a chance to take to overtake where possible. Game Ranger into the pits for what should be his final stop off the race. Rupcross carrying on for now. We'll check the Dutchman's fuel gauge in a moment once we see Fredo has disappeared into pit lane in just a moment's time, just so we don't miss any reaction between these guys. That puts Cuddles up into second, Cutler now into third position, but it's still not going to be enough for Cutler. In fact, Game Rangers came back out ahead of Cutler as you see Fredo into pit lane. Ripcross just under a quarter of a tank, so he could probably go another lap or two yet. That means he's easily going to be able to get to the end of the race. Cuddles will need to pit before the end, I'm sure. Game Ranger now full tank, no problems at all for him. And there's the man, he needs to be ahead of him, behind him, and with only a quarter tank of fuel. So unless something major happens, it is going to be a cut and run thing here. And I just want to point out for Cutler though, one good bit. Look at that from lap 22 up to 26. 1 minute 40.9, 1 minute 40.9, 1 minute 40.3, 40.8, 40.6. That's phenomenal consistency in anyone's book. So he's certainly doing everything he can. Cuddle's taking a bit of a defensive line into Hawthorne's there. He didn't need to, so that's a bit of a strange one. He's still in second at the moment, but he needs to pit before long as well. Cutler is all over the back of Game Ranger. He might need to pit, but he's going to try and do his best to pass him. So it's probably going to be the most determined overtaking move you'll see all season long. It might be a cut and run thing in terms of the championship, considering Cutler still needs to pit one more time, and Game Ranger has just done so. But you can bet your bottom dollar Cutler wants to make the pass on track. He wants to get that move done. He's looking up the inside at the Clark Curve, but nowhere to go there, and he's actually going to peel into pit lane early and get his pit stop out of the way now. Using every way he can to get through there. That's him now going to drop back down. FYS will come through in fifth. Fredo coming through. I think he's just had a mistake there, coming through Westfield again, because he was going pretty slow through there. Whoa! Car sideways coming up towards it, and yep, going a bit beach buggying. Unfortunately this car's not very good as a dune buggy. And another wee mistake there from Fredo into Westfield, but he's able to hold on for now because there's no one directly behind him. Surreptitiously into pit lane in P8, second in the AM class. Cutler's back out in 5th position and already through Druid's Bend. So he's got 10 seconds to FYS up ahead. He's 10 seconds behind Game Ranger, who's right on the back of Cuddles. And we do expect Cuddles to be in pit lane in the next lap or two, but Game Ranger's rip crosses into pit lane. Now, this is going to be interesting. Where does Ripcross come back out? How far ahead of Game Ranger? You shouldn't need too much fuel. We're into the final 10 minutes now. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Fuel is on, 75 litres. He's back out already, so well ahead. And it just shows you, I think he's done 3 stops to everyone else's 4 during this race. So brilliant fuel mileage from the Dutchman. Ooh. Excuse me. And Game Ranger coming through, trying to see what he can do with Cuddles, but Zebra Car holding its own here, doing very well indeed in this final endurance round. And carries on as he is at the moment. He's going to take the Pro-Am victory, and it's going to be at the moment second on the track, but he does still need to pit one more time, so possibly going to come out in 4th place behind FYS. Somewhere around FYS and Cutler, in between there I would imagine. FYS you can just see catching the grass there. Cuddles running wide through Graham Hill Bend. Game Ranger just sitting patiently in behind. He knows he doesn't need to do anything drastic. As long as he finishes ahead of Cutler, he is champion. Not long to go now in this race. Just checking the mic there, do apologise. There is your race leader. Not seen much of him, as I say, but fuel mileage working well. Decent lap times as well, 41.3, 41.4, 40.6, then a 0.5, 0.9, then pitting, so some good lap times there from the Dutchman. Oh, Game Ranger gets through, coming through Dingledale before Westfield. That is a move for position. Let's go back and catch what happened there, because we were having a look at the Dutchman at Ripcross, and it's a mistake through Westfield, catching the curbing, catching the gravel, made it a bit too easy for Game Ranger, and he's up the inside through Dingledale before Sheen Curve, and that is through and up into 2nd position overall. Cuddles into pit lane. He was due a pit stop, as I said. Doesn't need to take on a lot of fuel though, because there's only 7 minutes to go, so it's about 4 or 5 laps roughly. FYS coming through. Can he take over further? Looks like he will do. Cuddles is still in pit lane at the moment. Looks like Cutler might get ahead. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, Cuddles comes out just behind FYS, but he's pretty close to the back, so it's going to give him the chance to battle there and try and take that final podium position through. Oh, Cutler in the background there is getting really sideways coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. That's not going to help him any untoward way at all. So he tries to get back underway. And a mistake there from the A. Reeves Motorsport machine. And you see it one more time. It's the unfortunate thing, if I see something in the background with this game, I can show you a replay. Into Paddock Hill Bend, he was braking all the way through, he realised he'd gotten too deep, and the car just decides to spit itself round, and away he goes into the barrier, and that's going to cost him an awful lot of time. It's dropped in 20 seconds behind Cuddles. It now means Fredo's in range of Cutler, so that's going to be an interesting one for the end of the race. Cuddles is trying to chase down FYS for that final overall podium position to go with his Pro-Am race victory if he stays there. Nicely through Sheen Curve. Final 6 minutes of the final round here of NXTGEN Racing's Chloe Hewitt Cooper Cup. Round number 11, Brands Hatch GP 1 hour endurance race we are seeing here with only 5 and a bit minutes to go. Your race leader is Ripcross in the stand-up to cancel machine. The Dutchman has been leading for a good chunk of the race since about 40 minutes in roughly. Making the fuel mileage work very, very well indeed. He's only made 3 pit stops when most others have made 4. This man though, Game Ranger in second position, coming through and up the hill towards through Surtees towards Pilgrim's Drop. Second place is going to be enough though, because he's ahead of who he needs to be ahead of, which is Cutler. It's going to be championship in pro standings for Game Ranger at the end of this one. FYS has got Cuddles behind. Obviously the third place man was a filler in the series, showed some really quick pace as well, but Cuddles, case of what could have been, he's shown some good pace at some tracks, he's been missing at some other tracks unfortunately. Doing really well round here at the GP circuit though, coming up to Hawthorns. FYS has had to go defensive, and it's going to compromise his line into Hawthorns. Cuddles has the perfect racing line going through there, and again coming up to Westfield. Can he avoid running wide this time? FYS using, yeah, Cuddles giving it a wide berth there this time by, so not to go off the track, but he looks very quick coming through Dingledale into Sheen Curve, using the curbs, nearly pushing FYS through the corner. He's now got the outside line, that's going to force FYS to go for the defensive line to come out of Stirling's towards Clark Curve. Cuddles going to the outside, a little bit of a nudge there, touring car style into Clark Curve. FYS holds on for now, but Cuddles is right behind. He's looking racy, he's looking quick. Here we go, could be a pass for the final podium. And Cuddles goes round the outside, coming into Paddock Kilbend. Can he hold the position? No, FYS breaks late, but he's drifted wide. Cuddles sneaks up the inside with the undercut, and that is third place. Nice bit of driving there, put FYS in the wrong place into Paddock Kilbend. The card snapped out at the rear, and Cuddles makes the move in up into third position. Still first overall in Pro-Am for this evening's race, but third position overall in the podium is a very good result indeed if he can stay there. Cutler in fifth. There's Fredo, we're just catching him making a mistake through Paddock Kilbend, not the first one to have done that tonight, and even with 3.5 minutes to go, I would not be surprised if not the last. Happy HBK is winning the AM race at the moment. However, if my maths is right, I don't think it's enough to catch surreptitiously, even with the double points up for grabs. I don't think it is enough to be ahead of surreptitiously for the end. Cuddles catching the grass, FYS catching the grass. They're both squirming their way through Hawthorns and Westfield. They both managed to avoid a huge wreck, however, and thankfully carry on to live another day. I'm going to need to quickly try and do some sums on the fly at the same time. So you see here, 2 added. Fastest lap would be 10. Gap between 42 and 46. Yeah. It's not going to be enough, if my maths is right, for Happy HPK. Still going to finish 6 points shy, even if he's got the fastest lap of the race. Don't think there's not enough of a difference. He'll gain 6 points for the win compared to second for surreptitiously. He'll gain 2 points for pole, and if he's got the fastest lap for AM, he'll gain 2 points for that as well. FYS sneaked his way back through it as I was talking and looking down at the keyboard, and it wasn't there. That's not where he done it. And neither was that, because I've lost the track point now, so it doesn't matter. FYS has got through. I know you've seen it on the stream, and I completely missed it while doing sums, but yeah, side by side into Surtees. Just Cuddles tries to sneak back up the inside there. FYS holding on for grim life as they head up towards Hawthorns. About 14 points is a gap between surreptitiously and Happy HBK coming into it. 6 points gained for winning, 2 points for pole, 2 points for fastest lap. It's not going to be enough. Happy HBK really needed someone else in the AM class racing tonight, but unfortunately no one there to do so. That means surreptitiously will be AM champion for both Mini Coopers and Clio Cups, but we're keeping an eye on this one between FYS and Cuddles. Closest battle on the track. Cuddles has now got the inside lane. He's doing a bit of rally crossing, coming out of Sheen. He gets it back on track, thankfully, though. He's going to have to try again. We're into the final minute now of this evening's proceedings, of the final race of the season. And this battle's going to go all the way to the checkered flag, I do believe. This man won't give a damn about what's going on there. He's coming up to the line before long. If he slows down enough, he might be able to finish on this lap. Here goes Cuddles to the outside into Paddock Hill Bend. Can he do what he did a couple of laps ago? Braking in, cut back under. He's going to try again. He's repeated the trick all over again. One more time. Done it again. 2 times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's exactly what's happened to FYS there. Same move 2 laps later. A little bit of a sideways step out of the rear, but Cuddles sneaks through, having done it twice, and we caught it twice on the stream as well. But this man coming up to the finish line now on the final lap. He's slowed down a little bit, as you can see the timer ticks down to 0. There it goes. We are out of time, and Ripcross with a fantastic fuel mileage drive, as we've seen from him a couple of times this season, crosses the line here at Brands Hatch. The checkered flag is out. He wins the endurance race finale. Brilliant result from him. But the man coming home in second is the one we're all watching. That is your pro champion. We're going to see Cuddles and the FYS are still fighting. There's another car coming across the line surreptitiously. There is your AM standings champion. He comes across in 8th, but it's enough to win the AM class. And here comes Game Ranger. He's done what he needed to do, coming home ahead of Cutler. Cutler needed to be well ahead, but he's not. And Game Ranger, fastest lap on the final lap as well, just to show off. He is your pro champion. We come back to Cuddles and FYS. Cuddles is going to take the Pro-Am victory and the final step on the overall podium. Brilliant race from him, flash of the headlights. Good racing from those two in the final few laps. Cutler, a case of what could have been for him. And a poor race, getting caught out early doors as well didn't help. Happy HPK coming through to take 7th place overall. That's not enough. He's going to finish about 4 points shy, if my maths is correct. Cutler crossing the line as well. And the last one over the line is your Pro-Am champion, who was already champion before this evening. It is Fredo, and he crosses the line in 6th, doing as he usually does through a corner, swinging it across the line, and he takes 6th position as well. So that is it for this evening's proceedings. It is a victory for Ripcross in the stand up to cancer machine. I believe the game's probably glitching us out because of this. Still in pit lane from about 50 minutes ago is Bigsy, so it's probably not going to pick him up. The timer will run out before long. But Ripcross wins. He's the pro victor here in this endurance race. Cuddles takes Pro-Am honours for this race, and Happy HPK takes the AM victory in the race. But it is Game Ranger who is your pro champion. It is Fredo who is your Pro-Am champion. And if my maths is correct, it is Surreptitiously who is your AM class champion. So there are our 3 champions. Congratulations to all 3 of them. Well done to all the drivers who took part through this season as well. Obviously I've had to miss a few races due to work commitments, unfortunately, which is why I need to think of whether I'll need to do this next year or not, purely because I'll be missing most of the season. That's the unfortunate thing. We'll see. I'll have a check on that. We'll let you know in due time. But well done to our champions. We've had some great racing. Obviously go back and watch some of the other streams, because it's been absolutely fantastic stuff throughout the entire season. But that man there wins the pro class, and he wins the overall standings pretty much as well, technically. Is Game Ranger, Fredo and Surreptitiously who are your champions. But Ripcross, Cuddles and Happy HPK are your race victors here this evening. So we look here in the chat. Neil Clark, hello Neil, thank you for the subscription earlier on, by the way. I did catch that. Thank you very much, my friend. Good to watch back. Check back again. Going to play Apex with Alan K. I will get you tagged in that. I'll get a retweet out on that one, don't you worry, my friend. Fraser, consistency letting down. Well done to Cuddles, great drive there. It was a really good drive from Cuddles. Casey, what could have been if he had that pace through the full season, who knows, could have given Fredo a really good run for his money indeed. But that is it for this evening's proceedings. Thank you very much to everybody for watching this evening and for joining me through the season as well, through the Team V team event also. Obviously missed a few rounds due to work, but appreciate everyone giving the support through the year. If you haven't already done so, please do hit the subscribe button. There will obviously be more videos from me. The new F1 season's coming up. I'll be putting up race reviews and season previews, etc. in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for those. Hit the like button as well if you did enjoy this, and it'd be lovely if you could hit that subscribe button. Now over 120 mark, heading towards 200. That is the goal at some point this year. But that is it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Andy. Until we meet again, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.